Hi, my name is Michael Chesworth and I'm the Acting CEO of the Murrumbidgee Shire Council. Thanks for tuning in to Council's video update for Monday the 19th of October. Yesterday, the Premier Daniel Andrews announced some welcome easing of restrictions. In today's video, I'll provide a summary of those key announcements, but first I'll run through the daily COVID-19 case numbers. In the last 24 hours, there have been 4 new cases of coronavirus in Victoria, bringing the total number of active cases to 136. Sadly, 1 death has been reported since yesterday. There are now 12 Victorians in hospital, however, none of those patients are in intensive care. Over 2.95 million tests have been conducted since the beginning of the pandemic, with 10,793 test results received since yesterday. I'm pleased to report that there are no new cases in regional Victoria, leaving us with a total of 7 active cases in regional Victoria. There are 4 cases in Mitchell Shire and 3 in Greater Shepparton, and these numbers have remained steady for several days. There are still no active cases in the Murrumbidgee Shire. For regional Victoria, the rolling 14-day average is sitting at 0.5 cases, and for Metro Melbourne, the average is 7.2. In regional Victoria, from today, in terms of your household, the household bubble has gone, and you can now have 1 visit a day from up to 2 adults and their dependents. They do not need to be the same adults each day. Hospitality venues can increase the number of patrons to 70 people outside and 40 people inside, with the 40 people needing to be in groups of no more than 10 persons per space or room in the venue. Numbers allowed to attend outdoor religious gatherings have also increased to 20 people. An entire household, rather than just 1 person, is allowed to visit those in care facilities like hospitals for up to 2 hours at a time. I'm happy to say our libraries are allowed to reopen with a limit of 20 people. So our customer service centres have been open for a while, but you can now drop in and borrow a book as well as use the computers. We do have a time limit in place for up to an hour per visit so that everyone has a chance to visit us. We are now open from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on weekdays, except in Kinglake on Mondays and in Yea and Alexandra on Tuesdays, where we are instead open later from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. We are also open from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on Saturdays. Unfortunately, we aren't offering library programs right now due to the limits on the numbers allowed in our branches, and our mobile library and customer service has not resumed just yet. For those of you in our Shire who are missing our mobile library service, or who might not be able to visit a library right now, we are still running our very popular Book Butler service. This is where we drop off and pick up books and videos at your home. So give us a call. If you want to know more, our number is 5772 0333. Yesterday, the Premier also announced that from 11:59 on the 1st of November in regional Victoria, non-contact indoor physical recreation and community sport for under 18-year-olds will be allowed, with limits on numbers and spectators still in place. Yesterday, the Premier also confirmed that there is no change to the current restrictions on travel between Metro Melbourne and regional Victoria, as the priority is to ensure regional Victoria stays safe from the COVID-19 virus. There's been a lot of interest from people who live in Metro Melbourne, but who own property in Murrumbidgee Shire, who are concerned about preparing the property for flood and the forthcoming fire season. The Premier advised that from midnight on Wednesday, there will be a process in place which will allow people who live in Metro Melbourne to travel to regional Victoria to attend to their properties if they have been issued with an approval from Council. We are currently awaiting further details from the Victorian Government about the framework which will permit this as a valid reason to travel, along with related conditions from health and police authorities. We will let you know more as soon as this information becomes available to us. Please note that this approval will only extend to managing your property for flood or fire reasons. There will be even more checkpoints between Metro Melbourne and regional Victoria, and if you don't have a lawful reason to travel, you could be liable for a fine of just under $5,000. As before, the rules that apply to residents of Metro Melbourne continue to travel with them when they visit regional Victoria. Yesterday, the Premier did hold out some hope for further easing of restrictions before the 1st of November, but emphasised that much would depend on the nature of the cases in coming days, as well as the actual case numbers. If there are both low case numbers and a degree of certainty about the causes of those cases, the Premier and the Chief Health Officer might be in a position to bring forward some easing of restrictions. These changes would be such great news for our community. I really want to say thank you to everyone for playing their part in keeping the number of cases in our Shire really low. It certainly hasn't been easy, so well done to everyone. And of course, on the long weekend, many Victorians will be tuning in to watch the AFL Grand Final. The game will certainly be very different this year. Tighter restrictions in Metro Melbourne prevent people living there from gathering to watch the game. However, in regional Victoria, we do have a little more flexibility, as we can have 2 adults and their dependents visit us in our homes, as long as we observe the restrictions in place. I'm sure there will also be a nice atmosphere at the pubs and restaurants which are broadcasting the Richmond-Geelong clash safely within the restrictions. So you might be able to enjoy the game and support our local businesses at the same time. As we have done in past months, we all need to continue to play our part in observing the restrictions in place so that we can enjoy our COVID normal Christmas and of course a well-deserved break at the end of the year. Well, that's all from me. Thanks for watching and stay safe.